Welcome to the third part of Android security structure. In this lecture, we will talk about encryption, and it's specifically encryption at rest, right? Now Android version 5.0 and later, so for quite some time they actually supports full disk encryption. And then from Android 7.0 and later, it actually supports file-based encryption as well. And basically, file-based encryption allows different files to be encrypted with different keys that can be used to decrypt or decrypted or unlocked independently. Okay. Another thing that I want to cover here is the application signing. So application signing allows developers to identify the author of the application so that the user knows that the application is actually legitimate, and also to update their application without creating complicated interfaces or permissions, right? Now every application that is run on the Android platform by default must be signed by the developer. So if you root it and you go to some other stores, that's definitely a very different applications that actually attempt to install without being signed by default are rejected by either Google Play or the package installer on the Android device. Now on Google Play, developers know their application. It's actually provided by them or modified by them, and the developers actually can be held accountable for the behavior of the application. But of course, if it's modified, then all bets are off, right? Now on Android, application signing is the first step to placing an application in its application sandbox, okay? The sign application certificates define which user ID is actually associated with which applications, and then different applications run under different user IDs. Now application signing ensures that one application cannot access another application except through a well-defined IPC. Now when an application or APK files, basically applications are APK files, whenever these are installed on an Android device, the package manager is the entity that actually verifies that the APK has been properly signed on with the certificate included in the APK. If the certificate, or more accurately the actual public key in a certificate, matches the key that is actually used to sign any other APK in a device, then new APK actually has the option to specify the manifest that it will actually share a user ID with other similarly signed APKs, right? Now applications can be signed by third-party OEM or any other type of marketplaces. In a lot of cases, actually some enterprises may have their own app, so they have a different market, okay? It's not only because the device has been rooted and you want to get a free game from some other market, but in some cases actually there are some legitimate stores that are alternate markets that applications actually need to be signed, and those are actually signed with a third party or self-signed certificate. Now applications do not have to be signed by a central authority, and Android currently does not perform any certificate authority verification for application certificates. And that can be actually huge in the case of security, because it may actually lead to a security compromise if you don't verify the CA verification. Of course, it's a little bit different to scale whenever you provide the operating system and you have many different implementers in comparison to, let's say, Apple, that they actually control all the devices, and it's not like Apple iOS is running in other vendors' hardware.